What up, rival gang, and anybody from the YouTube space seeing this video? So I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you saw Professor X. What if he joined Marvel Rival? So this is part 4 of my What If series. As y'all can see, I have him as a strategist. Yes, a strategist. I don't see him as anything else. If y'all do, I don't know what to tell you, but I think the general census would be strategist. So moving forward, Charles Xavier, world's most powerful telepath, founder of the X-Men. So I have this man at a 5-star. Why? Because he's a GOAT. He's a GOAT of the Marvel Universe. And I know some people may say, well, look at what they did to Ultron amongst other characters. Listen, this is Charles Xavier. If they add this man to the game, I think he should play like a GOAT and should be played by GOATs in the strategist role. So this is tailored to them and for them. So you guys tell me what y'all think moving forward. So I know y'all looking at the HP 250. That's going to make sense a little later. His damage isn't so high. Some people may argue that depending on if y'all think strategists don't do enough or do too much, but I think most people think they do too much. So I did 55 damage per second, 18 or HP per second, which is 18, and then we have 6 meters of movement per second. So going into his passive, we have telepathic presence. Professor X maintains a constant passive telepathic aura and a 12-meter radius. All allies inside receive 18 HP per second. Passive regeneration at all times. Every time Xavier uses a damaging ability on an enemy, he adds 1 psychic strain stack to the target, which is a maximum of 4. Each stack extends that enemy's active ability cooldowns by 0.3 seconds on application. Stats decay 1 per 3 seconds if Xavier stops attacking that target. So I know at first that may sound a little strong, right? And I thought the same at first, but then after reading the other abilities and kind of putting it all together, I was like, you know what? You have to be really accurate with this character, because if you're not, I mean, you missing just even 2 shots in a row, right? Now, this all is going to depend on his attack speed. You know, we're talking somewhere between 1.5. I would say probably is the sweet spot. Every time he attacks, if not maybe a little bit quicker to just 1 second. But with that being said, you got to be accurate, because if you're not accurate, none of these stacks ultimately matter. Like, they can matter because we're talking microseconds here, right? But at the same time, you want it to stack up, because if you get all 4, I mean, that's literally 1.2 seconds on every ability every time. It's almost like you're locking them out of even using their ability to a certain extent, which is kind of crazy. But in the large scheme of things, do I think that's gonna happen? No. Now maybe in a 1v1 scenario that could happen, but in the larger scheme of things, I don't think that's gonna happen, too often. But it is very strong, clearly. But you have to be accurate, and I think for you to achieve that, I think it's worth it. I believe that would be something that would be cool on this character. So anyway, moving forward, we have Psionic Bolt, which is the left mouse button. Fire a focused burst of telepathic energy, dealing 55 damage per second to an enemy. Each hit applies 1 psychic strain stack. A faint echo pulse radiates 5 meters from the impact point. Any ally caught in it receives 20 HP automatically on every confirmed hit. No aim redirect required. Now, I think this is amazing because it helps keep your teammates in the fight. It encourages them to fight because, hey, we have Charles Xavier. If he's banging them up, I'm getting healed. And on top of that, their cooldowns are being extended, which is forcing them to stay in the neutral a lot longer. As far as using auto attacks, right? So with that being said, I think that's pretty cool. I think this is one of the things that is going to separate him from other strategists, because he is literally being a helping hand to his teammates when they're dueling, right? Whether that's you attacking a tank, whether that's you attacking another healer or DPS, well, any character, obviously, right, guys? But as far as, especially when you think of a tank, I mean, when tanks can't pull off those abilities that they normally would because they're being extended, that's gonna hurt. But that would probably force them to play, more shield characters where it's blocking those things. For example, Doctor Strange, so on and so forth, characters like that, right? So again, I think that's a good left mouse button ability. Now we have the right mouse button ability, Neuromin. Challenge a direct telepathic link to a targeted ally, restoring 80 HP instantly and 25 HP per second for up to 3 seconds, while channeling Xavier's movement speed is reduced by 50%. Cooldown reduction on the ally scales up to a maximum of 2 seconds at full 3 second channel. Tap early for 80 HP burst with no reduction and no slow 9-second cooldown. So pretty much what this means is that you can either instantly heal them for 80, or if you hold it, Your movement speed is going to slow down by 50%, but they're going to heal for, I guess that would be an additional 75 HP if you hold it. And on top of that, they also get a 2-second cooldown reduction on their abilities, right? So I think that's pretty good because that is a great helping hand, right? Let's say if they're in a fight, maybe it might be a 2v1 or something. You pull this off, they clear, right? They kill both of them. Or even if it's something just to help them get away or whatever the case may be. And not to mention, you know, if you're still auto attacking, you wouldn't be able to necessarily auto attack if you're doing the channeling, but let's just say, for example, you hit the instant 80 HP on your teammate and then y'all both then not essentially dive, right? But start attacking back on said player. I mean, this is really support. I don't know what else you would call it. This is a support build right here. This is a soldier. This is a strategist soldier that you have behind you every step of the way. Okay, then we have ink. I mean, Lord, not ink. E. I was reading link and I was trying to say it at the same time. The E, mind link. Expand the telepathic presence aura to 15 meters for 5 seconds. Boost its healing to 30 HP per second. While mind link is active, every ally inside has all their current active ability cooldowns reduced by 0.1 per second simultaneously. 14-second cooldown. So pretty much what this means is while you're in this aura, your abilities are going, your cooldowns are reducing at 0.1 second every second, right? So this lasts for 5 seconds. So you're really only getting like half a second knocked off, but that's major, right? Because we've all been in those situations where we could have got that ability just 1 second sooner, the fight would have been different, right? We would still be alive. We would have been able to save a teammate. So y'all know those scenarios. So I think this is where an ability like this can come into play. Obviously, the biggest thing is really just getting a heal boost and extending the aura and clutch situations to where you got to get to a player if you can't necessarily land the attacks in time, things of that nature. So I think this is, you know, a pretty cool ability. Hopefully y'all are seeing how all this is coming together. Like Professor X is almost, I mean, he's not almost, but he's literally a helping hand soldier on the battlefield, right? He's there for everybody. Just like he is in the show, he's just there for everybody, which I think is what makes this kit so cool. All right, so then we have Shift, Astral Slip. Xavier instantly repositions to any location within 18 meters with no cast animation. A semi-transparent mirage remains at the departure point for 2 seconds, drawing enemy fire. On arrival, a 1.5 mental barrier absorbs up to 120 incoming damage. Enemies do not hear the reposition. 12-second cooldown. So he's not an assassin or anything, so I don't think that that's really anything too crazy because it's not like he's gonna knock you out. I mean, if you're like 1 HP, then I guess, but I mean, that's normal for any character, right? But with this being said, I just think it's that mirage that plays the biggest factor here because that's damage that's going to a mirage and not going to a player, right? Even again, if that's just for a few seconds, those few seconds matters. That's a few seconds to where you can get some heals off, your teammates can do a few things. You know, this really can open up a lot of space. Now, I'm not saying it should be like a Loki clone where it literally gives you hit markers. I was thinking more so kind of like an illusion, like the bullets hit it, but you know, the illusion starts to fade away as soon as it starts getting hit, right? And they realize, oh, we've been duped, right? So with that being said, I think this is a cool ability. Again, it allows you to do things to get yourself in a position to where you can get closer to your teammates as well with the reposition or save yourself. I mean, it has a 12-second cooldown. That could probably be a little bit longer if I'm being honest, but y'all see the vision, right? Hopefully the vision, you're seeing it, right? He is really meant to be a helping hand. It make your enemies have a harder time keeping up with their cooldowns because you're extending them. And it does, like I said, it puts a bigger target on your back for sure because they're going to be aiming for probably Professor X in most cases, unless there's another support that they have to deal with, like a Gambit or something. But I don't know. If a character like this was in the game, I'm probably always going for Professor X, especially if he's messing with me because I got to get you back in that spawn room. I just got you. Nah, you're not going to keep extending my cooldowns. But with that being said, we have the F ability, which is Psychic Dampener. Target an enemy for 4 seconds. Their ability cooldowns regenerate 40% slower. On application, immediately applies 1 psychic strain stack to the target, 12-second cooldown. So this is just to help you keep up with your psychic stacks to a certain degree. It's not doing too much, right? I mean, it does create an instance to where they automatically have their cooldowns reduced by 40%. But I mean, that's not much because that's really only 0.4 seconds, right? But like I said, it still helps you or your teammate in a said fight to where if they can't get that ability back up in time, whether that's a shield, whether it's some sort of CC or a heal, Things like this matter. Things like this matter. Every second counts. So again, great ability in my opinion. All right, then we have C, Psionic Barrier. Now, mind you, I know C is usually like the team up abilities, but we're gonna push forward and just say this is an extra ability, right? So it says project a sustained telepathic force field around a targeted ally for 3 seconds, absorbing the next 200 incoming damage. The barrier does not shatter, it expires after 3 seconds regardless of damage taken. Each hit absorbed generates 1 second strain on the attacker, 13-second cooldown. Now again, this is not a bad ability, right? It helps your teammates survive fights. It also puts that stack on the enemy if they were to attack, which allows you to land hopefully some stacks of your auto attacks and heal your teammates at the same time while they have this barrier. This could definitely be a little bit overpowered depending on how it's used, but like I said, if this was like some sort of team up ability, I think this would be a great one. Maybe we could reduce the HP on the shield a little bit better, maybe like maybe 150, maybe even 100, I don't know. But like I said, this is all just for fun, people. If y'all have recommendations of things that y'all would change and make different, leave it in the comment. You know, just list out, hey, ability C, I would change it to this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. Or just give, like I said, just give your thoughts and opinion, y'all. Like, this is just for fun. With that being said, let's move on to the ultimate. Now, I will go ahead and say this cost should probably go up, but we have Q, Psionic Aegis. It says Xavier projects a vast telepathic shield dome across the battlefield for 8 seconds. All allies within 15 meters are enveloped in a layered psionic aura. The passive healing intensifies to 40 HP per second, and every active ability cooldown across all nearby allies is continuously reduced by 0.3 seconds per second for the full duration. Xavier becomes untargetable for the first 2 seconds as he anchors the projection. The dome is visible to both teams as a faint blue hemisphere. So with that being said, I think this is a great ultimate because most of us would say that some of the strategist ults are very strong, and even though I have him as a 5-star, I think this is a pretty balanced ultimate. And I think a lot of the strategist ultimate should lean more into like doing something to help your players as far as a technical standpoint, such as cooldowns and things of that nature to a certain degree, right? And I know, you know, we're not here to really talk about every other character, but I think this is very different because it helps your teammates, again, push them to fight. Your cooldowns are going to be reduced, and at the same time you're being healed. So we're trying to push the fight. We're not trying to necessarily make you invincible or anything like that. We're literally just trying to push the fight, and ultimates are meant to be strong at the end of the day. So, you know, if they counter ult, then guess what? It'll either be a stalemate or somebody has a position wrong or something. Or if they can get to Professor Xavier and kill him, right, knock him out of the fight, then there y'all have it. But with that being said, I mean, with all this put together, I mean, I think he would be a very fun character. I think this would be a very fun character because it really keeps the enemies on their toes. It puts that pressure on them, and it really messes with their psyche. I guarantee you this would mess with their psyche in real life, because if you have a Professor Xavier that's always messing with you and extending your cooldowns and throwing off your momentum, listen, this is literally mind games at its best. This is what he does in the anime. Well, I was about to say anime. This is what he does in the cartoon, the show. I'm pretty sure there might be an anime version out there somewhere, but y'all get what I'm saying. This is what he does. He gets into your head. He gets into your head, which is what I like about this kid. So y'all tell me what y'all think. You know, leave comments. You know, like I said, leave your own builds or whatever you would think, right? Or if you, like I said, you would edit the abilities. Tell me what your edits would be. But with that being said, this is always fun to make. This is probably my funnest one to make. I appreciate also hitting 50 subscribers. Thank you guys to everyone that has subscribed and showed me any love and support, whether it's coming to my streams, supporting my videos, my shorts, whatever the case may be. Trust me, it is always appreciated. So I don't know who I'm gonna do next, but then again, I kind of do, but I don't know. We'll have to see how everything turns out. But with that being said, this was fun. Again, appreciate all the love and support, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.